Hey, John Kavakis here with another edition of My Take. And today I've got Brooklyn's 1940 Lincoln Zephyr Coupe. Now this was made especially for Second City Motors, and I'll get you to the details on that in just a second. But let's talk about Ford. Back in 1936, they were on a roll. They had just introduced the Ford Deluxe V8, V8 power for every man. They had the Lincoln Model K, which was doing pretty well, but you know that chassis had been used by several coach builders to make really elegant models. But they thought they needed something in between the Deluxe V8 and the Model K. They wanted to compete with the Chrysler Airflow, with the General Motors LaSalle, Cadillac LaSalle, and they wanted to compete with the Packard 120. So they came up with the Zephyr. Now the design was elegant. It was low, lower than most of the other cars at the time, and it was very aerodynamic. And you know, where Chrysler didn't do so well with the Airflow, maybe Ford learned some lessons from that, and they came out with something that was wildly successful. It had V12 power, very prestigious, very elegant looking, and hit their target right in the bullseye. And so it was very successful. In 1940, they came out with a newer design. It was even more elegant, still had the V12 power. The whole nameplate, the Zephyr nameplate, just re-energized the entire Lincoln lineup. As a matter of fact, to the point that when they introduced the first Continental in 1940, it was actually called the Lincoln Zephyr Continental. Now, in 1941, they dropped the Zephyr part of that, but the Zephyr was taken off like a shot. By the end of the 1940s decade, all of the Lincolns were based on the Zephyr chassis. So Brooklyn's given us this model. Jeff Lane commissioned it from Brooklyn for the 4th annual 143rd and Automobilia Show, and he only had 25 made, so it's not a very large production number. And I want to get it out of the box and take a look at it because I'm pretty excited about this. I got one of the 25. So let's put it on the turntable and see what it looks like. And the first thing that I want to mention is the finish. It is spectacular. You know, Brooklyn has a new paint process. They've got state-of-the-art paint booth. Simon is an expert at putting the finish down. He's passing that expertise on to the people that are working with him. And this is a deep, elegant black. Now the black is accentuated by chrome trim. All of the trim is wire. It's brilliant. It's really dynamic looking. You'll get a close look at all this in a second. I want you to take a look around the front of the car and take a look at that grille. Incredible black wash on it. The lensing on the headlights is realistic. The little emblem beneath the hood ornament looks realistic as well. That red just stands out, and the hood ornament is perfectly formed. The trim along the center of the hood, beautifully done. Go around the side of the car. You take a look at those wheels. Now, I know Jeff is picky about his wheels, but I know that Simon is very picky about wheels as well. And these things are just well executed. They've got the right colors in them. They're the right rings, the right black background, the right white wall, the right sized white wall. And you take a look along the trim on the side. Very delicate, very well executed. Separate door handles. It's just beautiful. You go around the back of the car. The hinges on the trunk are separate and chromed. The handle for the trunk lid, very well done with the emblem right in the middle of it. Beautiful little tail lights. The bumpers are deeply chromed, very lustrous. And around the other side of the car you can see the rest of the detail as well. But something that's a little bit harder to see that you really got to look at to appreciate, number one, is the window surround on the rear window. Extremely delicate, extremely thin, extremely well executed. Inside, the dashboard is just a work of art. A great steering wheel, great dashboard. The door panels have separate handles on them, just beautifully done. I wish there was a way to see in there a little bit more clearly. But it's just a beautiful model. It's well executed. I think the only regret is that there were only 25 of them made. The only thing that could improve this car, this model, is if there were an even lower production number of limited models in a different color. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But the good news is this. Maybe you didn't get one of Jeff's 25. I don't know if he has any left. I'll put his email address up here if you want to contact him to see if he has any. But the Brooklyn NB Center Collection Zephyr, which has the same level of detail and the same type of finish, is still available on the Brooklyn website. And I'll give you that information as well. So if you're just coming into an appreciation about this model, now's the time to snag one. It's a beautiful model. It was made for the 143rd Automobilia Show in Chicago, March 2023. That's the 4th annual. We're really looking forward to the 5th annual or so. And this is my take on Brooklyn's 1940 Lincoln Zephyr two-door coupe. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, would you go down in the bottom right here and click the thumbs up button, give me a like. It really helps the channel. I'd love to have you as a subscriber and love to hear your comments. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back real soon with more videos.